This one comes from Kartikeya Agarwal. She says she is a 20-year-old student from India. She's in college. She sees herself as a stock investor 5 years down the line. I've listened to each and every RBI podcast. Huge fan. She goes on to ask, how do you minimize the time frame that you elapse during which a stock does not rise, even though it still has potential? She cites Netflix as an example. There were some years there that were lean years. Are there ways to avoid that? I often think of Activision Blizzard, a stock we talked about last week, which for several years while the market was booming in the space 2011, 12, 13, Activision Blizzard did nothing. And so it was very frustrating. The discussion board on Motley Fool Stock Advisor, full of people waiting, thinking, does this stock ever move above 12? And the good news is it's closer to 30 these days. And so I think there's no way that I've found that you can eliminate the downtime of being a patient investor. I don't find myself good at trying to time my way into buying a stock at the right point, or for a long-term holding. There's no real way I've found to maintain that holding and not have periods that the stock is either going down or sideways, sometimes for a prolonged period. I'll say this. Rather than look at the stock, Kartikeya, how about let's just look at the company? Let's feel good about our operations. Activision Blizzard, through that lean time, was operating extremely successfully. So those of us who held the stock, who had to be very patient, more patient than we expected, found a great reward. It also was one of the top performers of the S&P 500, which we talked about last week, just last year. And so rewards will come when the companies keep operating successfully. So that's what I think you and I should be watching, the company, less so the stock.
As always, people on this program may have interest in the stocks they talk about, and the Motley Fool may have formal recommendations for or against. So don't buy or sell stocks based solely on what you hear. Learn more about rule breaker investing at rbi.fool.com.